Welcome to the Botanical Medicine Study Course and the Herb of the Week with me, your host and instructor, Stephanie Georgia. This week, we will be exploring a wonderful herbal ally that is not only delicious, but healing as well. The English name for garlic comes from the Old English word garlic, gar meaning spear, and leek meaning vegetable leek. So for some reason, the Old English people thought garlic looked like a spear-shaped leek. The Latin for garlic is Allium sativum. Allium sativum is a perennial flowering plant growing from a bulb, and the bulb is that familiar, delicious head and clove that we like to eat. It has a tall, erect flowering stem that grows up to 3 feet. The leaf blade is flat, and there is a flowering stem at the top. The plant may produce pink, purple flowers from July through September in the Northern Hemisphere. The bulb is very aromatic and contains outer layers of a thin sheathing leaves that surround an inner sheath that encloses the clove. So the bulb is actually an underground stem. And that's what bulbs are actually. And the root, those little frizzy hair-like things that are at the bottom of the head of garlic, but that's the bulb. And it's actually a leaf. Now, the bulb can contain anywhere from 10 to 20 globes that are asymmetric in shape, and they kind of look like little almonds, in my opinion, except for those closest to the center. Now, if the garlic is planted at the proper time and depth, it can be grown as far north as Alaska. Garlic produces hermaphrodite flowers, meaning the flowers that have both male and female structures. And garlic is pollinated by bees, butterflies, moths, and other insects. So this is a wonderful thing to put into your garden if you want to attract pollinators. But it does not attract bats, which may account for its vampire repellent properties. Garlic is among the oldest known of all horticultural crops. In the Old World, Egyptian and Indian cultures referred to garlic some 5,000 years ago, and there's clear historical evidence for its use by the Babylonians 4,500 years ago, and by the Chinese 2,000 years ago. Now, I just love this picture because apparently this is ancient Egyptian garlic that they're sharing with each other to smear on whatever they're liking to eat. And the Chinese, we know, use garlic in their food, but they also use it in their medicine. So you'll see it in herbal formulas. Garlic grows wild only in Central Asia and mostly in what we call now the stands, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan today. And early in history, garlic grew wild over a much larger region. In fact, there's evidence that wild garlic may have occurred in an area from China to India to Egypt to the Ukraine. So that's quite a wide swath. Now, throughout history, humans migrating and traveling through Central Asia and the surrounding areas probably collected wild garlic and still do, and carried it with them as they migrated for various reasons to different areas for consumption and cultivation. Some food historians report that Roman soldiers refused to fight unless there was ample garlic for them to consume, which may account for the spread of garlic as a crop throughout the Roman Empire. Now, this also may account to why they were so victorious. They had great immunity and heart health, but they also just had to breathe on their enemies who fell to the wayside. Now, I'm being a little silly here with that last anecdote about breathing on their enemies, but I certainly would have a hard time, being around people like that on the battlefield, let's say. But European folklore gives garlic the ability to ward off the evil eye, and Central European folk beliefs considered garlic a powerful antidote against devils, werewolves, and vampires. And specifically vampires, you needed to wear a clove like on a necklace or in a pouch. You hang it in windows or you rub it on chimneys and keyholes. And I'm not sure about the keyholes, but I'm sure the chimneys made everything smell absolutely delicious. An old Welsh saying may have applications to today as a health remedy. And the saying is, quote, eat leeks in March and garlic in May, then the rest of the year your doctor can play, unquote. And I guess this is the Welsh version of an apple a day. Maybe the Welsh were more into savory daily remedies or pungent ones as their approach to preventative medicine. Now, garlic is a crop widely grown for the fresh market by many producers and also in small scale for local markets, particularly in the US. This is a picture of a garlic field in Gilroy, California, which is host to the annual Gilroy Garlic Festival. And garlic is grown quite a bit. There's 2.5 million acres of garlic farms, and they yield about 10 million metric tons of garlic globally, according to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization. Now, commercially, China is the top global producer, and in the United States, California is the leading producer, with Oregon, Nevada, Washington, and New York trailing behind. And garlic is the most commonly grown, which is seed garlic, which is actually grown from cloves. I mean, if you want, you can try and gather seeds from the flowers, but it's mostly grown from cloves that are saved and replanted year after year. Now, in the background of this image, the background to the slide, in all of the slides actually on this video, these are garlic scapes, and those are really good. And you can use them as a substitute for chives. And they also make really good pesto in a pinch. So definitely plant this in your garden. First of all, it's delicious. And secondly, it will attract pollinators. Now, garlic is a general all-around great herb for many health challenges and can be taken as a preventative measure for things like heart health and immunity. Garlic is antimicrobial and helps reduce cholesterol, blood pressure, stops muscle spasms, and stimulates liver function, which means it helps you to digest your food. Garlic is also a diaphoretic, which means it helps make you sweat. Garlic works both on bacteria and viruses. That's really interesting because, antibiotics that we take from prescription, they only work on bacterial infections and not viruses, okay? And the common cold, all the way up to the recent plague, is a virus. So that's what's really interesting about this plant. And it also helps kill intestinal parasites. Now, garlic is such a powerful antimicrobial, it's often referred to as herbal penicillin, but it's also herbal antiviral. During World War I, the Russian army used garlic to treat wounds that the soldiers incurred on the front line. And although the discovery of penicillin in 1928 largely replaced garlic at home, the war effort overwhelmed the capacity of the pharmaceutical manufacturers, and it also overwhelmed the capacity of most antibiotics. And garlic was again given as the antibiotic of choice. The Red Army physicians relied so heavily on garlic that it became known as the Russian penicillin. Due to its diaphoretic, aka makes you sweat, capabilities, as well as antimicrobial properties, garlic is great for any sort of lung infection. So if you have a wet, productive, yicky cough or any type of pneumonia, this is really a good thing to add to your remedies as well as your food. And garlic is a natural for the common cold. Now, if you have heart problems, garlic helps lower cholesterol and also raises good cholesterol, good fats in your blood, those much sought after HDLs in your blood panel. And it also helps to prevent blood clots. Now, a study done in the 1990s showed that one of the most effective ways to take garlic is actually in the powdered form. Personally, I like either fresh or powdered. I'm not a fan of the chopped stuff in a jar. It's okay in a pinch, but I feel it loses a bit in the processing. And herbalists suggest eating a clove a day, especially in cold and flu season, and incorporating garlic on a regular basis as part of a heart-healthy diet. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't warn people, excessive garlic intake, either with food or if you want to take it in a pill form, is not a good idea if you have a bleeding disease, meaning you bleed easily, or you're taking blood thinning drugs of any sort. And it can also compound blood pressure medicine. So make sure to discuss this with your pharmacist or physician. And again, it's okay if it's in a soup, but I wouldn't be eating like several heads of garlic a day or taking it in pill form if you are having any of these challenges and are on medication. And these are all the different ways you can take garlic. You can take it in pill form. And I find it interesting when you take garlic, it's basically garlic oil that's put in a pill. Sometimes you can get powdered garlic in a pill, but the most common way is this garlic oil in a pill. And you'll be burping garlic all day long. You can take it in powdered form in your food or fresh and chopped, etc. And something absolutely delicious, but very good medicinally, is making garlic oil. And it's wonderful to soak it either in, you just take the cloves, you can mash them up, just crush them and put them in some either grapeseed oil or olive oil. And you can use that topically, or you can just add it to your food, your salads, etc. So it seems that that chicken soup cure for the common cold is really due to the garlic. So enjoy either to help heal the sniffles or as a preventative as we enter into autumn cold and flu season. Your body will thank you. So this is Stephanie Georgia saying thanks for spending your time with me, and I'll see you next time on the Herb of the Week. And as last time, any gardening information, I would go to allaboutgardening.com. And if you search for garlic, they have great ideas. Be well.